have some breaking news just into CNN. Liam Payne, one of the stars of the former boy band One Direction, has died.
It feels as though the angel of death has swept in too soon, claiming a life that still had so much left to give. Liam Payne, beloved by millions, a voice of a generation, is no longer with us. And the circumstances surrounding his sudden passing have left fans, friends, and family reeling. Police reports have hinted that Liam was more troubled than we thought, and his girlfriend, Kate Cassidy, has finally revealed why she left Liam alone in Argentina. Once the bright star of the boy band One Direction, 31-year-old Liam's life has been tragically cut short under the most unfortunate of circumstances. All right, without any further ado, let's dive into Liam's final moments.
31 is no age to go, but I think the circumstances which we're hearing about how Liam died is just dreadful.
By now, most of you are probably aware of the tragic news about Liam Payne's demise, following a fall from a hotel balcony in Buenos Aires, Argentina. A light has gone out, leaving us with memories and so many unanswered questions. So today we'll try and piece together those final hours to reflect on a life that shone so brightly and to say goodbye to a man who meant so much to so many. Just hours before his death, police were called to his hotel. According to reports, a worker at the hotel made a frantic call describing Liam as destroying everything in his room and hinting that he could have been under the influence of substances. A transcript of the hotel's call to the police before Liam Payne's death has been released, and the hotel staff can be heard clearly saying, "Well, we have a guest overloaded with and alcohol, and well, when he is conscious, he is breaking the whole room, and well, we need you to send us someone, please." It is still super surreal that the last footage of him on Snapchat was literally hours, actually an hour, before his life was cut short in one of the most painful ways. This video, which was shared on Liam's verified Snapchat account, is presumed to be the last video of Liam Payne alive. The video shows Liam sitting at a dining table talking to the camera about how he and his friends had slept in. Such a lovely day here in Argentina. This is the breakfast table, just enjoying coffee and breakfast, even though it's 1 p.m.
Morning, everybody. Here's a little video of me. It's rude to put hats on the table.
Sorry.
Is this your hat?
Yeah.
Children. It's a lovely day here in Argentina. This is the breakfast table.
I'm just eating an orange.
Just enjoying coffee and breakfast, even though it's like 1 p.m.
Literally, we sleep in every day until at least 12. We're such losers.
No.
No.
But here's where things start to get even more heartbreaking, loves. When the police arrived, it was too late. A loud sound echoed through the courtyard, and Liam's body was found. The authorities are still conducting an autopsy to figure out what exactly happened, but the shock is still so raw. The entire One Direction fandom, Directioners, are absolutely devastated because for a lot of people, One Direction literally defined their childhood or teenage years. And let's not forget that their timeless music cut across generations. At this point, the details are still unfolding, and the autopsy results and the investigation are ongoing, and everyone is waiting for more details. But what's certain is that his behavior was alarming enough to prompt hotel staff to call for help. A woman named Carola Guana, who saw Liam Payne in his final hours, has now broken her silence. Carola, who met Liam shortly before his tragic fall, is heartbroken and in shock. She shared that her encounter with Liam was one of the happiest moments of her life, only for it to turn into one of the saddest shortly after. Carola recalled how Liam smiled at her and even sang to her, a moment that gave her goosebumps. Carola went on to say that she was one of the last people Liam spoke and sang to. For her, it was a beautiful moment that quickly transformed into a nightmare. She expressed her disbelief and asked that no one contact her about the story, as she was still so much shocked. She could even still have his perfume on her. Going from such an intimate and personal moment to hearing the devastating news of his passing just hours later is just so gut-wrenching. It's like she's caught between the joy of meeting a star and the tragedy of his sudden loss, all within the same day. With so much happening so fast, for a moment, people thought Liam was on a solo trip. But now it has actually emerged that even though he was alone on this fateful day, he had actually set out on this trip with his girlfriend, Kate Cassidy. Coincidentally, 2 days before Liam's tragedy, Kate took to social media to update her followers that she had traveled back from Argentina after a much-needed vacation. It was also at that moment that she mentioned that she left Liam there because she hates staying in one place for too long. People are low-key finding Kate's explanation a bit sus. Apparently, their trip to Argentina was only supposed to last 5 days, but 2 weeks later, Liam was still not willing to leave, so Kate had no choice but to leave him behind. Kate did not specify why Liam had not accompanied back home to Florida though. Alright, moving on. Y'all know celebrities' deaths are always marked with a ton of speculation. Of course, in times like this, speculation is bound to happen, and Liam's case isn't any different. Some people believe that Liam's fall might have been just a tragic accident, a genuine misadventure that happened because of one wild night. So here's what some people are saying. Remember, he was allegedly seen freaking out in the hotel lobby, all because he was too intoxicated and was denied access to the pool area. The theory is that he might have tried to reach the pool by climbing or jumping from his room's balcony. Now, if you think about it, this sounds like one of those moments where someone makes a quick decision that goes horribly wrong. We have all heard those balcony jump stories of tourists, often young and drunk, thinking they can make a wild leap only to realize far too late that they've overestimated their abilities.
We don't know, and we can't speculate as exactly what has gone on. We do know that he's fallen off this balcony, which this is what I don't understand. It's very difficult to understand how this happens, and this is not an uncommon thing. I mean, we had a case not that many days ago.
It's horrific, Stephen. Like this week in showbiz, we've had another death of a DJ in Ibiza who apparently fell from a balcony as well. And I just think when you hear these showbiz deaths, they're not like natural in the sense where they're very like freak accidents, and trying to get your head around it is just a bit too shocking, especially for Liam Payne. I just think he was just such a lovable character, and you really think he was battling through those demons, and you was just hoping that he was going to get on the other side.
It is honestly heartbreaking, and it makes you wonder if Liam, like so many before him, just had a moment where he thought he could make it and didn't realize how dangerous it really was. If he was intoxicated, as people are saying, it's easy to see how he might have had an error in judgment. However, loves, while some are saying that this could have been an accident caused by a bad decision, others are thinking that there could be more to the story. This one always makes the rounds when a celebrity dies suddenly. People start wondering if there's something more sinister at play, and they'll ask if someone was out to get them, suggesting that maybe this was all planned or that someone wanted them out of the picture. With Liam being so high profile, there are bound to be theories about someone else being involved or a darker conspiracy, even if there's no evidence. It's wild, but when it comes to celebrity deaths, this speculation always pops up. Either way, it is just a tragic reminder of how quickly things can go from fun to fatal, especially when someone is under the influence. We'll probably never know exactly what was going through Liam's mind in those final moments, but this theory definitely adds another layer to an already devastating story. And then there's the other train attaching his demise to mental health struggles.
His career was always plagued with addiction, stints in rehab, which he was quite open about.
This is a heavy one, loves. Anyways, to give you guys some context, Liam's life seems like a whirlwind of fame and success. But behind the scenes, things may have been way more complicated. From their debut album to their sold-out stadium tours, One Direction was unstoppable. But even with all that success, there was always signs that life in the spotlight wasn't easy for Liam. He's spoken about his struggles, his ups and his downs, and the weight of that fame. The more updates we keep hearing from this situation, the more it becomes clear that this isn't just about the tragedy of Liam's passing, but also about the struggles that he openly shared with us. Liam had a complex relationship with fame, and he didn't shy away from talking about it. He spoke openly about the emotional journey he went through, especially in his 2019 interview on Aunt Middleton and Liam Payne, Straight Talking. During that interview, Liam opened up about the dark side of fame, a side that not many fans get to see. He mentioned how, at times, he felt like he was barely hanging on. Reflecting on his own struggles, he said, For some certain circumstances, I'm quite lucky to still be here, which is something I've never really shared with anyone. Just think about that for a second. Liam hinted at how close he came to the edge. There are times where that level of loneliness and people getting into you every day, you're like, when will this end? Can you imagine the weight he must have been carrying? Liam had millions of fans, but at the same time, he felt completely alone. Fame wasn't just all the glam and the sold-out shows. It was a battle that almost broke him. He even said it nearly killed him a couple of times. But not only that, he also talked about how he had to find ways to cope with mental strain. He shared how he learned to tackle things day by day, saying, just get on with it, just do today. For Liam, it was about surviving in the moment, dealing with the immediate challenge and hoping to get through the next day. It's heartbreaking to think that while he was giving so much to the world, he was battling his own demons behind the scenes. Liam also reflected on how it all started piling up, and he knew he needed a different perspective to get through it. He said, when things started to pile on top of each other, that's when it can really get to you. So he found ways to look at it differently. But that toll fame took on him was undeniable. His words reveal a side of him that many of us didn't know, a side that was searching for peace in a world that constantly demanded more from him. And to make it even worse, we now know that he was dealing with these struggles all while in the public eye. Being thrust into fame at just 16 years old with One Direction, he was constantly in the spotlight and he faced unimaginable pressure. He went from a teenager on the X Factor to a global superstar. And with that came the intense scrutiny and the loneliness that he spoke of. He was always expected to be that smiling pop star, even when he was hurting inside. Also guys, Payne's demise has sparked a whole other conversation we all just didn't see coming. This issue has got a lot of people fired up right now, and it all started when TMZ broke the news about Liam's death. But that's not what annoyed people. It was the way some media outlets, especially TMZ, have handled this tragedy. So while fans and loved ones are still processing the loss of Liam Payne, TMZ has been getting major heat for sharing insensitive content surrounding his death. They didn't just report the news. They allegedly went as far as publishing graphic images from the scene. This has sparked a whole new conversation about the media's obsession with being the first to break a story, even at the expense of basic human decency and dignity. Platforms like TMZ are known for their in-your-face reporting style, but this time they went a step too far for many people. They are now on the receiving end, as professional journalists like Matt Charlton also called them out, saying their coverage was one of the most irresponsible examples of journalism he has ever seen. He even said that calling them vultures would be too kind because vultures play a role in the ecosystem. Y'all, that's harsh, but it really shows just how upset people are. He believes that everyone involved in putting out that content should be banned from the industry for good. Unfortunately, this isn't just about one outlet's bad decision. It's a bigger issue that keeps coming up whenever a celeb passes away. The race to be the first to report something, to grab those clicks and views, can lead to something truly disrespectful. By sharing graphic scenes and private details, it is like they are more interested in shock value than respecting someone's dignity. At the end of the day, Liam isn't just a headline. He was a human being, someone's son, their friend, and father. But in this rush for views, that humanity gets lost. Besides that, there's also the question of how this affects the people left behind, especially Liam's family and friends. Imagine grieving such a shocking, sudden, tragic loss and seeing those images plastered all over the internet. It would honestly only add to their pain. For fans, this is their first time losing someone from One Direction, someone they grew up with, and having the media be so invasive during this time. Finally, we cannot finish the story without recognizing the amazing soul that has departed, particularly appreciating the parts of him that he shared with us. In the last couple of days, the internet has been awash with tributes towards the late Liam Payne, whose defining moment came when he was just a teenager. Many people remember him as the bright-eyed 16-year-old who took the stage on the X Factor back in 2010. Alongside Harry, Niall, Louis, and Zayn, he shot to global stardom in One Direction, a band that became one of the most successful boy bands ever, selling over 70 million records. And now, heartbreakingly, we're talking about the sudden end to his journey. Liam even had a son with Cheryl Tweedy from Girls Aloud, and it seemed like he was trying to find his footing in a world that demanded so much from him. And now he's gone, leaving behind not only his family, but also millions of fans who grew up with his music. Is it just me, or does this all feel so surreal? Liam Payne wasn't just a singer, he was a part of an era. The shock is hitting us hard because honestly, this was not someone who fans ever expected to hear such news about. There were no public warnings, no signs that he was struggling to this extent. The point is, beyond the headlines and the music, Liam's legacy is in the hearts of those who loved him. His fans, his friends, and his family, all of us, carry pieces of him with us. Whether it's a favorite song, a memory from a concert, or the way his lyrics lifted us on our darkest days, Liam's presence lives on. He may no longer be with us, but his spirit, his laughter, and his music will echo through the years. So here's to you, Liam Payne. Thank you for the music, for the memories, and for being brave enough to share your light with us. You may be gone, but you will never be forgotten. Rest easy, and may you find the peace that you so richly deserve. We'll keep you close in our hearts always. And with that, we say goodbye.